Hello，云同桌们，大家好，我是月明。时隔6天，我回来啦。这一次甲流导致的这个咳嗽真的蛮严重的。我头2天只是偶尔咳一下，没想到越来越严重，整晚都在咳嗽，然后睡不着就躺着释放呗。我这次用的就是双面释放，所以我想放在这里分享一下，就是成功与失败那个，并且呢，主要是针对失败的那一面做释放。我就在心里想，如果说我这一次治疗失败的话，这个咳嗽从此伴随我一生，那么我对此有什么感觉？然后没有想到，我就越释放越嗨，嗨到整个人精神抖擞，毫无睡意了。总之呢，释放之后，我去医院停车挂号取药都无比的顺利。就是大家知道，一般市里面那种最好的3甲医院停车都要排队排很久，取药也是。再加上现在刚好又是季节性高发病集中的时候，去医院的人特别多。但这一次呢，就是从就医到整个症状全部都好，真是相当的顺利，相当丝滑。哦，对，我其实在2月份，也就是春节期间出国旅游之前的时候，也经历了一个非常惨痛的事故。我还在红薯写了一个帖子，分享了一下那件事。当时也是痛到晚上睡不着，然后就边痛边释放。最终很幸运的在出国旅游之前恢复的差不多了，也没有因此影响到我整个旅游的体验。总之这2件事情我分享的目的是想说，身体就是我们革命的本钱嘛。不要企图说用任何灵性去完全替代该有的治疗，但是我们可以用释放来让这个过程更加丝滑、更加顺利、更加美好，对吧？然后我们继续一起来学习第3课吧。那这一节一开始呢，是根据上一节的内容 Niki 引导大家做贪恋与厌恶的双面释放。那这一段我专门做了一个将近90分钟的超长循环版，大家可以去我的主页找一下。所以这边呢，我就暂时先跳过了。我想着重补充讲解一下后面学员分享的这个环节里面，有一位叫 Janet 的女学员说的一段话，大家可以先看一下。
Now I would carry on, just working on this sheet, taking a like and then a dislike, and seeing what feelings are there until you feel really good about the whole thing. And carry on however long it takes. It may take a page or it might just take a few going back and forth. But carry on until you feel good. And then pause the tape and write in your gains book. Make sure you acknowledge yourself for that releasing.
A little advice. Well, I would think it might be a little different watching it on video than being in live person. But I don't think it matters where you are, how you're getting it. But I think it goes on a very subtle level. And to just hang in there and I just really want to encourage you to keep going as far as you can go with it. Because the subtlety of it is very profound. And I think after all these years that those profound releases and the profound inner experience of what you discover is just worth taking one day at a time, one step at a time, one release at a time. But everyone can do it, and everyone can find whatever it is they're looking for. And keep going, and you'll find it.
这里我补充展开一下，我感觉我今天可能会比较啰嗦。首先第一点呢，就是我必须要提一下，因为有很多人问我有没有群啊，然后能不能组织共修啊。我知道很多人和我一样，其实在这个修心的旅途中，并不是一开始就接触释放法的，而是先学习了很多别的这个修法。那大部分的主流教导会以共修作为一种很重要的修行方式。那像我自己本身是作为这个悉达多的弟子而走上这条道路的，我既有出家的师父，也有在家的师父，这些年也跟着2位师父参加过很多次的这个线下的共修。但是呢，释放法真的和大家熟知的这些传统的修行方式不太一样。在莱斯特自传这本书里面有这样一段话：我遇到了一些我曾经帮助过的人，但只有几个人，就这么多。我不是一个大众型的老师。这是莱斯特他自己说的一段话，就是说呢， 释放法它是一条自给自足的道路，释放的流程以这样的方式设计出来，就是能够让你在没有老师、没有师兄们，甚至心里面有一大堆的问题的情况下，你都能够自给自足的走完全程。包括在92课程里面，海尔其实提到过很多次 "Do it by yourself"， 包括这一小节后面海尔又说了一次。所以我也想在这里正式的回复一下大家，我不会建群，也不建议大家花时间在群聊上，我也不会去做1对1的个案分析，因为释放法这个系统不需要这些，它本身就是为独立走完全程而设计的。那第二点呢，就是这位女学员 Janet 提到释放是在一个很精微的层面上工作的，大家不要被精微这个词吓到啊，觉得好像很深奥似的。这么说吧，你可以把释放法理解成某种看待这个世界的角度。比如在学习释放之前，你可能从来没有想过，一个人每分每秒都是在被内在感受所驱动着去做事情的。而所谓这个精微的意思呢，就是说我们还是站在内在感受这个角度。以恐惧为例，我们从紧张、害羞、小心翼翼等等这些非常浅表的感受，体会到更深层的一面，就是我们能够体会到，其实这些感受都来自于恐惧。那么再走得更深刻一点，那就是原来这些都是来自于我的某种想要。我再举一个例子，比如开开心心和喜悦，这也是一个由浅层到更加深刻的感受的区别。但是我这里还是要再次提醒，不要把这个变成了一种脑补，这是一个深入内在感受的旅程。如果还没有体会到更深的层面的话，就是说哪怕9大情绪都体会不到，这也一点关系都没有，就在你目前能够感受的层面坚持释放就好。释放多了，更深的感受会自己浮现出来的。你并不需要努力的去找感觉，或者说去分析深挖什么，你不需要努力做什么，因为这是一个由感受带着你前行的旅程。千万不要是那种没有吃到过苹果，但通过文字的描述去想象苹果的味道，就认为自己吃到了苹果，这是行不通的。记住，这是一个由感受带着你前行的旅程，尤其到了第5课之后，开始会讲比情绪更加深层的感受，也就是欲望。所以我在这里先提前打个预防针。
We're going to take a break here in the class now, but if you need extra time, I recommend you just carry on your releasing and come back when you're ready. But do make sure you give yourself some time also.
I found, number one, the minute I started feeling a little tired, I was able to release that fast. My concentration was extremely good, and my recall on Sunday and Monday of that seminar was extremely good. I had my notes, and I was going through rewriting my notes, and I found inserting things that I had left off when I was there that actually came from the seminar. I found that I could release stress headaches very quickly. Any pain that I felt disappeared that fast. I was able to do that.
It was just real good. A lot of good positive things happened. From the relationship with my husband turning completely around, in being able to communicate better and in 2 hours' time than probably in 14 years, and he's seen such a difference, my whole family has, in me. I also went to the same seminar that Jack went to, and Jean Marie, and I just had to walk in Friday to the seminar and have several people come up and say, "What are you doing?" And I'd say, "Why? You look so totally different." How? Well, I don't know. There's just a glow about you, and so it's been very noticeable, I think.
Welcome back from the break. I hope you had lots of good releasing opportunities and used the method on your break, whether it was a few minutes or longer. Also, I want to say a little more about gains. I know we've been mentioning a lot on this course about gains, but I just want to emphasize the importance of carrying this book with you wherever you go and recording your gains, no matter how small. We are all excellent at validating what doesn't work in our lives. Just experts at it. We're pros. In fact, I could ask anyone here or anyone at home to make a list of all the things that don't work about their lives and all the things that are off, and you'd have no problem with it at all. No problem at all. If I asked you to make a similar list of everything that was good in your life, you'd start scratching. You might think of one or two, and then you'd be hard-pressed to think of it. It's only a habit. One of the things we'll be doing by releasing is we'll start to break that habit of always getting caught up in the negative. By willing to face your feelings and let them go, you naturally become more and more positive. Your inherent state is positive. And this book will help remind you that it's starting to shine through. It's you doing it. And it will not only help you with releasing, it will help you in your life. How many times have you been involved in a project, and because you weren't aware of the progress you were making, you gave up? Because you didn't validate. Yeah, I've taken a few steps. Maybe you're not at the goal yet, but you've taken a few steps towards the goal. And we forget that. And we get lost in the next obstacle. And we can do that with the method, too. You can forget. The next time the feeling comes up, you go, oh, God, I didn't make any progress. Why am I even doing this? But then if you take out your gains book and look in and say, well, wait a minute. Yeah, well, just about 10 minutes ago I had this. And also, by the way, it's a good idea to date each page in here and put all the gains from that day on one page. The reason for that is you might think it took you forever to work through a problem. Then you go back in your gains book and you realize 3 days, and it was something you've been working on for 30 years up until that point. 3 days later, after starting to release, it was starting to clear up. So make sure you also put the date on the page when you record your gains. And we'll probably mention gains a few more times because it is a very important part of the course. Validate the positive. What we're going to do now is going to work on another release sheet. A lot of the course, again, is oriented around these release sheets. These are the heart of the course. And again, your willingness to apply yourselves to these release sheets will make a difference between you getting some benefit out of the method and you really flying with it. So turn to the page in your workbook that says have to on top of it, things I have to do.
我觉得不得不是一个特别通用的练习，尤其在这个很卷的时代，大家会付出很多的努力去做一些来自家长啊或社会要求你不得不去做，但其实内心百般不情愿的一些事情。比如说，不得不去考研，不然就找不到工作；不得不找到一份体面的工作，不然就好像会被鄙视。然后以及别人都这么做，所以我也不得不这么做，不然就会怎样怎样。我相信这个方向的释放练习应该对很多人，尤其是年轻人，可能会是一个比较大的课题，因为现在这个社会真的太卷了。也祝愿大家在释放之后能够获得一个更有智慧、更自由的生活的领悟，以及获得为自己的身心健康和幸福而服务的一份答卷吧。
Most of us have long lists of things that we have to do. And the problem with all those things that we have to do is we don't want to do them. When you think you have to do anything, what's your first reaction? No, I'm not doing it. Forget it. I don't want to. And we're telling ourselves, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this all day long. You have to take care of your children. You have to pay your bills. You have to. And if we're not saying it to ourselves, our spouses are, our friends are, society is, so that we live in a sea of have-tos. Now, the more you release, the less you feel like you have to do anything. That doesn't mean you don't choose to do it. In fact, it's easier to do all those things that you've been saying, I have to do this, like I have to lose weight. 10 years later, I still have to lose weight. You haven't lost any weight because of that push. So what we'll be doing with this sheet is focusing on the things that we have to feel like we have to do and starting to release some of that feeling that's pushing us into feeling like we have to. Because once we let go of that feeling of having to, then we can choose to or not to. We might discover some of the things we think we have to do, we don't. Maybe we can delegate. If you're a boss and you think you have to do this, this, and this, all of a sudden you release, you might realize, hey, that's why I have employees. And we forget that because we feel like we have to do it. So make a list of some of the things that you feel like you have to do. Those of you here and also those of you at home. Before we start working on it together, I just want to briefly explain how you work with the sheet. As you've already done, you've made a list of the things that you have to do. And what we can start doing is I'll work with some people here, and you at home can start working on your own. And also those of you who I'm not working with, don't wait for me. Remember, it's a do-it-yourself tool, and we're working ourselves out of a job. But anyway, what you do is you look at your list, and then one at a time, you see what feelings you have about that have to, and you keep releasing until you feel only good feelings about it. And remember to let go of some of those too. So who has a have to they'd like to let go of? Yes, Greg.
When I'm at work, I feel like no matter who calls or what it is, I always have to return the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of bothers me because it creates a pressure that it can be some salesperson that I really don't want to talk to, but if they leave a message in my office, like, I've got to return that call.
Right.
You know? And I'd like to change that.
Okay. So see what your now feeling is about it.
I guess there's some anxiety about feeling like I have to do that.
All right. Now
like
just
to just not have to do it.
All right. Now that anxiety, is that an apathy, a grief, a fear? What feeling is it?
I would say it falls best into fear.
Okay. So write down fear. Okay, now just allow yourself to feel that fear feeling.
Okay.
Could you let it go? Could you?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay. Feel any more of the fear. See if there's just a little bit left.
Very small amount left.
Well, a tiny bit that's left. Just allow yourself to feel it.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now. Yeah. That's
Okay,
good.
how does it feel now?
Good.
Feels
very
good?
Yes.
Okay, well, that good feeling, what is that? And is that a courageous feeling, an accepting feeling?
It's more like courageous, like I feel, well, I'll call him.
Okay.
It's my option.
Right, okay, so write that down,
Feel strong
courageous.
about it.
By the way, give yourself a check for letting go of the fear.
Okay.
All right. Now, just allow yourself to feel the courageousness. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay, feel it again. See if there's any more of that courageousness.
I think it's all gone. There might be a small part. It feels
Okay.
pretty well gone.
Feels gone? Okay. You feel more accepting now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Want to let that go too?
No.
I knew there was a little hesitation here.
Well,
But what
like
would happen
all
when you
these
let
good
go of the
things.
courageousness? You
Well,
felt
that's
even better.
Yeah,
Right.
That's true.
See, the important thing to remember when releasing the good feelings, that the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to feel better. And that's not so bad.
It's hard to imagine.
I know. Well, the problem is feeling good for most of us, especially feeling really good, is an exception instead of the rule. But as you keep releasing, it turns around. The more you release, the more it just becomes, well, yeah, of course I feel courageousness, doesn't everyone? So as you keep releasing, especially if you're willing to also let go of the good feelings, then instead of being so unusual, they become normal. And then what happens is, Lester calls it the bottoms-up method. The more you release, most of the time we go through life like this, bouncing along on the same plane, some peaks, some valleys. These are our peak experiences because we're out of the garbage for a while, and then we're back down in the stuff again, and then we have a peak, and then we're back down. But as you release, it's not that this stops, but it starts going like this. It keeps going up. So what happens is, as you keep releasing, where you used to experience peaks will start to become your valleys. And if you're willing to keep releasing the good feelings, that really accelerates that process. So I'll let you keep going on that one. You might want to do a few more have-tos. And remember, no matter how good you feel, you can just ask yourself this simple question: could it get any better? And if it could, then go for it.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.